Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome to our very special battle report for you today. I am Luka from MiniWarGaming.com, joined by returning guest Kyfer from What the 40K, and we present to you TANKHAMMER.
We play and call it work.
MiniWarGaming's Warhammer 40K battle report.
Let's jump into the list and take a look at the word bearers first. Here we have 2,000 points of tanks. Now I do have one extra Lord of War slot from the Forge World Army list here, so you have to forgive me on that one, but the whole idea is to show off a lot of treads and, hover on the table today. With my list, my Warlord will be a Land Raider, Chaos Land Raider specifically, upgraded to be a tank commander. You can always upgrade one of your non-Lord of War tanks to be a commander, and they'll augment some of their stats. We'll go into further details about all of this once we're all deployed on the table. He's exactly what you see is what you get on this guy here. Moving on, I am running some Chaos Predators. I have a pair of Annihilators and one Destructor. And of course, a pair of Chaos Vindicator Laser Destroyers. This is all from our Word Bearer Horus Heresy collection here. And one Chaos Rhino. I didn't have the points for more of them though, but they are important in this format still to have. And two Lords of War, both from the Forge World selection, both costing me a command point because of Martial Legacy. We have ourselves a Chaos Spartan and a Chaos Typhon. And I realized I didn't pay the points for the las cannons on this Typhon, so they are non-functional. They took a little bit of battle damage before this game even began. And that is what the Word Bearers are going to be bringing to the table in today's game. Let's go take a look what the Salamanders have available for some heavy armor.
Hey guys, Kyle here from What the 40K. Very excited to be in the MiniWarGaming studios with Luka to have this tank battle. As for my list, I have two Gladiator Lancers, one is converted using a Hunter, two Repulsors, one tricked out with all las and one all DACA, one Razorback with twin las cannons, two Whirlwinds, and a Lord of War Astraeus with Plasma Executioner Sponsons. And serving as the Warlord and tank commander of our tank battle is my Repulsor Executioner, taken with the Heavy Laser Destroyer.
The mission that Kyfer and I will be playing today is Shield Relay Showdown. This is a custom mission made by Kyfer and played in his play group, and more information on this in the description down below if you want to go check out those links. For the most part here we have 5 objectives, one directly in the middle and then 4 in every table quarter spread out as you can see here. Both players will be deploying opposite one another in a search and destroy style deployment with one main objective in each player's territory on top of the objective marker. These are the buildings you see here, the red building and the blue building. They are the cores that we're trying to destroy. They will be the primary objective. For every wound you cause to the enemy core structure, you'll gain 1 victory point, up to a total of 45 victory points. Now, the twist here is that they are shielded, and our engineers in our list are going to have to remove the shielding to allow us to target the enemy cores if we're outside of 12 inches. Otherwise, we can just drive within the shielding and hammer them with our heavy weapons. Now, the way the engineers are going to hack the enemy structures will be by performing a quick action in the command phase that finishes in the command phase, which will allow them to roll a d6, adding 2 to the roll for each objective you already control. And then on a roll of a 6, the shielding is disrupted for that one turn, and you'll have freedom to volley into it. And the way hacking will work is something the engineer can do if it's within 3 inches of an objective, one of the 5 on the table. Starting in the second battle round, the action is complete immediately once it's performed, and the engineer is going to roll a d6, adding 2 to the roll for each objective that you control beyond the first. And then if you roll a 6 up after the modifiers, or just a natural 6, you are successful and the enemy core loses its shielding and then can be hit from anywhere within line of sight on the battlefield and of course range. Now there are a few things to note about the structures. They just have a save of 3 up, and if they're hit, they're wounded because they're immobile and they're large. And of course there will be some secondary objectives. If you can remove the enemy tank commander, their warlord, you'll gain 15 victory points. If you take out the enemy engineer, you'll gain 15 victory points, and that's also denying their capability of hacking to remove your shield. and System Shock will be an additional 4 victory points for every time you successfully hack the relay. And these victory points are important because this will be a linked series of games, and these victory points will directly correlate to the second game that Kyfer and I play. Alright, just wanted to give you guys a shot of the table before Kyfer and I roll off and deploy our forces. One player will be deploying over here, with that bunker being the main strategic building of target. And then the other player will be deploying over here, where the red one will be the other side here. Just want to give a shout out to some of the terrain companies in the battle mat you see here. So the battle mat, one of my favorite battle mats, it is a 6 foot by 4 foot battle mat, and we're playing on a 6 foot by 4 foot table for this game here, because this is supposed to represent kind of like out of the box, make up your own scenarios, kind of homebrew sort of things. And plus tanks need a little bit more room to operate and wiggle around on the battlefield. To represent, like, I guess, trading blows back and forth, and then the speed they have as well. So this mat's from Kraken Wargames, and we got the JW Wargaming for the objective markers here that they printed for us on neoprene mats, and then Urban Mat Craters, some Games Workshop kits, and March of War is the producer of the terrain you see here. One of the newer sets that they have that sent over to us to play with, and they are gonna probably do a pretty good job for us here in this tank battle. Now, this is a homebrew format that Kyfer and his playgroup have made up, so there are a few things to go over. Generally, all tanks gain breachable, just so they can actually hide behind the buildings and break through the buildings. Thus, we're using kind of lighter looking runes to represent, like, maybe just breaking down that wall, driving in through over there, or making a hole in the middle of it, and the building will hopefully, remain standing afterwards. And if it doesn't, well, whatever. It's some light debris. What could that do to a vehicle, right? And then you will notice that there are objective mats down. We didn't describe them earlier so much that they don't gift you victory points, but for every one you control, it'll help your engineer hack the enemy structure to bring its shields down by adding +2 to the roll for everyone you control, starting the second battle round. Otherwise, we are ready to deploy our tank forces. We haven't rolled off yet, but we'll do that in a second and deploy our forces and give a slight description of where you might find more information on this mission and this format in general.
For those curious to learn more about the format, check out the video on my channel on YouTube, at WhatThe40K. And if you want to have access to the mission pack, it's over on my web zone for free, at whatThe40K.com. And you can find a link to all of these in the description down below.
And Kyfer and I have rolled off and deployed our forces. So here we are in the word bearer corner, and I will be defending the red core structure again. This is the thing we want to attack and destroy. Well, don't really destroy it, but you damage to the point of words. You can do up to 45 damage to them, and if they're hit, they're wounded. There's no toughness characteristic because they don't move around, and it's easier to play that way too. But it's nice to actually have a narrative goal to go for in a game. I went with our Spartan, our 2 Vindicators, and 2 of the Annihilators with the Destructor over there. Those are the 3 Predators, kind of like coming in from the back to support. We do have a Rhino, a Typhon, and our tank commander, which will be driving in the heavy support here, or the heavy transport in the form of the Land Raider. I did forget to actually mention my engineer in the Army Showcase, funny enough. I just 100% forgot about him. He's got the hammer and the plasma pistol, and he's on loan from Steve's Iron Warriors, because the Word Bearer collection doesn't actually have a Warpsmith. It's a Heresy collection, and it doesn't actually have any Tech Marines in it, which is something I should probably consider because of all of the tanks that are in the collection. Now, Kyfer, what do we have on your side?
Everything's deployed. You can see the biggest Reyes right in the middle there. We have the Daka Repulsor up in the front as our sacrificial lamb. The last Repulsor hiding in the back. 2 Whirlwinds babysitting the core. Gladiator Lancers are situated at the back edge of the table to make use of their longer range. And the Tank Commander Repulsor Executioners right in the middle beside our engineer.
And then we did forget to mention our Warlord traits we took for our tank commanders and their tanks in general. Yours was an increased toughness by 2?
Yes, the Salamander's Warlord trait for +2 toughness.
And then on my side, I went with, there's a few like powerful word bearer ones, but the one that felt the most fitting for my tank commander in the Rhino, I keep wanting to say Rhino. Land Raider is, I believe, Unholy Tenacity. Sorry, it's Unholy Fortitude. Just gives them a 5-up to shrug off wounds. Even though Ward Bears already have a 5-up to ignore mortal wounds, this will be a 5-up to ignore all types of damage. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or if we mentioned it in general earlier, but it does change some of the rules, some of the roles here have. So rhinos, and well, all transports are objective secured, following the normal rules for objective secured. If you both have objective secured on there, it will then come down to the wounds characteristics on the objectives, because otherwise we're just going to be looking at one model each, all the same. And then on top of that, if you're a dedicated transport, you actually gain the sticky objective rule. So if you control it in the command phase, you can then leave it, and we're going to put like little tactical Marines on the table to represent the sticky control of the objective until someone comes by to take it with their units. Because infantry is still here on the game in the battlefield, narratively taking and holding ground, but the tanks are going to be pushing and taking ground. But we just don't have all the models. We just don't have the infantry down on the table to represent the actual control of the objectives. And I will note there is a lot of small arms fire on a lot of our vehicles, which will be firing at one another. But we're probably going to skip recording them. We'll just note who does damage, because you probably don't want to see every single Stormbolter and Heavy Bolter shot that's going to happen in this game. But you're here for the heavy weapons hammering the enemy vehicles, so we'll definitely show all those rules on camera. And all right, that should be it for the disclaimer. We have everything deployed. We're ready to play this game. We're going to roll off to see who is going to go first in this game. And rolling. I got a 5 to start.
And a 2.
2 it is, eh? So it'll be Word Bearer turn 1. And we're going to get this show going. Set up some command points, stuff like that. I'm at 2, I believe, or maybe 3, and Kyfer's at around 4 or 5. Do you remember where you're at?
I start with 5.
Start with 5? Okay, perfect, yeah. Because we're using kind of like the Arcs of Omen detachment as like as a guide. Mine's a little broken because of these guys, but like it's okay. It's not like they're overwhelmingly good, and they're costing me command points to bring because of Martial Legacy. But yeah, let's roll dice and let's try to destroy each other's heavy armor here. And in the command phase, our Master of Mechanisms here, the Warpsmith, will augment a vehicle. What do I want to give +1 to hit to? Honestly, probably the Land Raider Commander. Oh, wait, no, he's a commander. He already has that upgrade. Something I may have forgotten to mention, our Warlords, when we upgrade a tank to be a tank commander, a few things change. Their ballistic skill gets better. What else changes?
+1 to your ballistic skill, weapon skill, and leadership.
Weapon skill and leadership. If those come up, those all get changed. Obviously, the BS thing will come up quite a bit. I'll augment the Typhon so it hits a little bit better, even though it's kind of a weird gun in general. Otherwise, we're good to go with the rest of the turn. We're both going to be gaining command points every command phase here using, modern Battleforge CPU rules and starting with less in general, and paying for our warlord traits. The only things to note on the engineer here is that he's got a hammer instead of, he actually has his hammer and he's marked as each. If anyone's curious, I had the points for it, so I threw those on there, but I didn't have the points for the last cannons, sadly enough. Jumping right to movement, I'm going to give you a before and after as we just tread around the battlefield. And there, so we've reformed. Spartan moving up this way, Typhon driving forward onto the objective, our Rhino attempting to advance that objective and falling short, our tank commander just driving up behind the Spartan. They're going to try and make way for each other. These two guys in the back not able to fire because they can't see through their own tanks in front of them, but just getting in a position to do something for later. Our engineer or our Warpsmith left the objective just because I don't plan on really hacking with him, because I don't plan on shooting at the objective for a while because there's quite a bit of other things to shoot at. And that's about it. These guys are lined up to volley down this way. This guy's going to shoot down this way. The Dreadhammer's going to fire, and that's about it, because that's where we're at right now. So I'll start with the Dreadhammer. He's going to put shots into that repulsor right across from him. So we're going to shoot right through the gap here and see what we can get done. All right, let's load up that giant shell and fire it at that repulsor down there. Would you like to pop smoke?
I will pop smoke.
Yeah, because that's
one command point.
That's the shooty repulsor there. The one in the back is the nasty one with the las cannon. So I want to try and get rid of him. So it's a single shot that does blast 2d6. So it's 8 potential hits. That's not bad. I'll take that. All right, I'll definitely take 8. These are hitting on 2s because of the Warpsmith. However, smoke is gonna make it a little bit harder to land hits directly. Okay, not bad.
I'll take that too.
3 misses, 5 hits, and these wound on 3s. 3 wounding hits against you. These are AP4, no save on the repulsor, 9 damage on him. So 9 on him means he should have 6 wounds or something like that. What does he got left?
Oh, sorry.
No.
He suffered 9.
Suffered 9.
16 wounds to start.
16 wounds, yeah. So he's got 7 wounds left. Not a bad opening shot from the Dreadhammer. Again, las cannons, not operational. Gonna move on to our Vindicators. next. Only these ones can see that repulsor right there, so they're going to fire. This one doesn't really have too much line of sight where it is. It's concealed itself, so that's nice. So these two, we'll start with this guy. This one did move, I think. It doesn't. You know what? I'll say it moved for simplicity. If it moves, it might suffer mortal wounds from firing the big gun overcharge, which I'm going to do anyways. So we are going to hit on 3s. Take a mortal wound, and these are strength 10, I believe. Definitely 2 wounding hits. A heavy laser destroyer, so if you fire the overcharge, it's 6 damage per shot. No invuln save, so I was doing a casual 12 damage from the one firing.
This wounded one, right?
That was into this guy here, yeah. And then I take a mortal wound for rolling the 1. And the Stormbolter did nothing. If anyone was curious, to no surprise. We're going to move on to our Predator Annihilator, trying to alley-oop and follow up and take out the repulsor there. I'm going to do the Sponson las cannons first, because they're just regular las cannons. Got a hit. I forget about 6 to hit or 2 hits, because I'm Chaos, but I'll remember that later on. No wound there. I'm going to fire the Soul Terror las cannons now. Got a hit. And no wound there. Then moving on to our Spartan. I'm just gonna put everything into the repulsor there. I'm gonna save having to think too much about it. And going forward, if I don't mention any of the the heavy bolters or anything like that, it's because they did no damage. I'll just mention that they do damage otherwise. This thing has 8 freaking las cannons, 4 per side. Let's see what he gets though. 3s to hit. Nice, good start. Lots of 6s. I'll worry about them afterwards if it matters. 5 saves at -3. Boom!
Looking for 6s.
Oh, not quite making it. That's going to be enough to kill him without rolling any damage. So does it go sky high, or is it just brought low? Boom. No, it just leaves this battlefield. It hits the tracks, can't operate anymore. I got rid of one of the repulsors, and that is my turn. Nice and easy. Alright, so we've gained our command points, and your Tech Marine, who does he want to boost up? Probably the big guy, I assume.
He's too far from the big guy.
Oh,
he's going to be boosting up this guy.
I see. I'm going to try and remember the Devastator active here for Kyfer, and extra AP on all the shots. Going to be burning right through my armor. Volatile first turn. Didn't really need all the extra 6 to hit, which was nice, so we're going to show you where all of these end up after they move. And that's it. Everything moved. Our big Lord of War, our Space Marine heavy tank, moving forward towards my Spartan there. And they're going to be trading blows. Repositioning a few of the tanks back here to get line of sight, firing down also at my poor Spartan assault tank over there. And we got this repulsor, the command tank hanging away in the back, and the one that I lit up a little bit earlier down to 7 wounds right beside the Tech Marine to get healed on future turns. One thing we do want to do incorrect is on my turn I rolled a couple 6 to hit with the Typhon. It can't kill this, but it does mean I might get a couple extra hits on it for the Let the Galaxy Burn rule that Chaos Space Marines get in the first turn there. All the other shots wouldn't matter because they all went into the repulsor that was destroyed in the middle there. So 2 6 to hit means 2 more potential wounds, which only 1 wounds, and it's just 3 more damage because it's AP4. That's all that means. A little bit more damage on the repulsor back there. Again, every other shot went to the repulsor in the middle, and caught the 6s but didn't need them. Then the other thing is, it's the Master of the Forge. You're going to heal right back up to 7 wounds with the that. So the extra hit I got on the Dreadhammer just keeps it back to where it was initially. All right, we're going to go right to shooting. I'm excited to see what this big guy does. I didn't want to put too much pressure on him right away. I want to see what that giant turret can do. And if it's scary, then I'll put pressure on him. The question is, do we shoot it first or last? I don't really know what the answer there is.
I think you save the best for last.
I think you typically do. That's where I'm leaning as well. So we'll see what it does in a minute. We'll see what all the other shots that you've seen a million times do first. This guy will be saved until the end.
Right, so at the end of my movement phase, I'll be using the Salamander's Relentless Determination Stratagem, which can work on any unit, not just core, and it will allow my repulsor to operate at full wounds for the purposes of shooting.
Yeah, so it still moves a little bit slower and all that stuff, but it's 1 command point, not bad, pretty effective.
So we'll start firing the repulsors operating at full, and I'll start with the the Hunter Slayer missile.
It's the fancy one, yeah.
It can fire indirectly, so I think it'd be cool to indirectly fire at a Predator.
Okay, we're gonna go for the, not the Annihilator, but the Destructor back there, okay. And then what about the other guns?
Oh, sorry. If they're different, I want to go for the laser.
Yeah, that's okay. That is the Annihilator there. Yeah, I got 2 Annihilators. I got the nasty las cannons and the regular las cannons. And then the Destructor has a pretty cool auto cannon, but not as good anti-tank as the Annihilators are.
The other laser weapons on the repulsor will be split firing, because that's a proven tactical choice. The last Talon is only in range of the Typhon, and the twin last cannons will be going into this.
The Rhino. Oh, okay,
Yes,
fine. Fine.
Rhino.
And with the Hunter Killer into
Yep.
the Annihilator starting in the middle.
This is indirect, so it's hitting on 4s.
Nice. Okay, well, it would have missed even directly, I suppose.
Yep.
And that's a once per game, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
once per
off
game.
target a little bit there.
We'll see later. Maybe we'll get another one. There's another Hunter Slayer in the list somewhere.
And then where do you want to fire? Do you want to do the twin over here?
Yeah, with the twin last cannons against this Rhino. Hitting on 3s.
Wow. All right, and then we have the shots into the Spartan out front.
The last Talon going
Sorry, the Typhon, my bad.
into the Typhon. 3s.
Wow, that's a hit. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the one. Well,
Okay.
it's wounded, right? So, you know, it's... Even though I paid the CP, it's still kind of feeling like it wants to be wounded.
Yeah, those parts didn't get fixed that much. The crew's a little shaken.
So it's a Strength 9 weapon, so it's wounding you on 4s.
I might be T3 on the T4 on the Typhon, or T8 on the Typhon.
Oh yeah, fair enough. So
Yeah.
on 3s.
I said 3. There we go. The 5 works all the same. What's the AP on that bad
AP
boy?
in the Devastator Doctrine is AP4.
Okay, so we have 2 up on the Typhon. I'm almost certain. Doesn't matter. Got a failed save there. What's the damage?
It is a huge D6.
Oh.
Watch out.
4.
I'll take 4. I'll take 4.
20 wounds on a Typhon, I believe. Next up is the Razorback. And we're leaving the little model back there to show that sticky objectives because it had a dedicated transport on it in the command phase there.
Exactly. So the Razorback is going to be putting all of its weapons into the Typhon, and it's hitting on 2s because of the Awoken Machine Spirit.
Beautiful. And what are we starting with?
The twin heavy last cannons. Oh, sorry. The twin last cannons on the Razorback hitting on 2s.
Oh, good start.
Both hit. And these are strength 9, so they're wounding on 3s. Zero with it.
Yeah, you can keep them there. -4, failed both the saves, 2d6 damage. Bring it on. 16. Okay, he's got 11 left. The Hunter Killer?
Hunter Killer once per game, hitting on 2s. It hits. This is strength 8, though.
Ooh.
So it's wounding on 4s.
Okay.
But we have a Salamanders reroll.
Oh, true? Ooh, that makes your
Hits.
tanks pretty good though. I like that. 3. We actually save. Take the 5 damage from the twin las. We're down to 11 left. Then we're going to the Tank Commander and the Repulsor back there.
Yeah, the heavy laser
The
destroyer.
Heavy Laser Destroyer.
Going into the Typhon right in the, what I call the kill box.
The kill box. Is it just a big gun in range?
Just the big guns in range.
All right, well, easy enough. Love that.
Yep, hitting on 2s.
Boop, boop, boop. One. There's a natural 1. Yep.
Natural 1. And then this is strength 10, so it's wounding on 3s.
Boom. How much
does
damage
wound.
is this one?
This is D3 plus 3.
And it's minimum. Oh, sorry. It's AP 4 or 5.
It'll be AP4 in the, I believe it's AP4 in the Devastator Doctrine. No, it'll be probably AP5 in the Devastator Doctrine.
I'll probably go ahead and use hexagrammatic wards here. This is a strat that word bearers have. I can do it twice this game. Each time I do it reduces the, whenever an attack is allocated before the save roll, you reduce that damage to 0. So the Chaos Gods are going to ward off that shot. Okay, and then that is it for the Tank Commander, I guess?
Yeah, that's it for the Tank Commander. And we'll move on to the Whirlwinds.
Ooh, we'll figure out what we want to do with them. And the Rhino is probably one of the better choices here. Again, denying a unit getting OBSEC over here wouldn't be the worst. And it's toughness 7, so a little bit easier to hurt too. Firing out of line of sight though, so suffering some ill effects there, I assume.
Yes, so we have 2d3 shots with the Vengeance Launcher.
I think it's...
Hitting on 4s because they are indirect.
we got 1 hit.
We got 1, strength 7, toughness 7,
Yes.
wounding on 4s. It does wound, and it'll be resolved with AP1.
Definitely gonna go through my armor then. Oh, it's AP nothing normally, eh?
Oh, it's AP, but you have +1 to save because it's indirect.
Oh, true, yeah,
Right.
you're correct, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Okay, well, we take a little bit of damage. 2 each or 3?
2.
Okay. 1 gets it down to 8, let's see what 2 can do.
So 2 D3 shots from the second one.
You got the average there, got 4
A
shots.
little better.
4.
Hitting on 4s.
Oh, nice, 3 hits.
Not bad. And these are wounding on 4s.
If they hurt the top armor there, one of them does.
Salamanders reroll 1.
True.
Nope,
Just the 1,
just
eh?
the 1.
Well, then I am going to fail that save, take 2 more damage, and have 6 remaining wounds on this Rhino. From the Rhino, we move on to these boys here, who I haven't really ever played with or against. So what do we got here?
They're 2 Gladiator Lancers. That's how I'm running the the converted one.
Yeah, so they both have the, I guess, same gun,
Yeah,
same
it's
turret.
a smaller turret weapon of the Repulsor Execution. So it's
Oh.
a Lancer Laser Destroyer.
And we were looking at shooting down this way.
Yes.
I think this one wants to pop smoke. I kind of love him. Plus, he's probably going to take some shots from this thing later. So let's see if we can't keep him alive. If anyone's curious, we just caught on, but these are supposed to be storm bolters on the side there. So same as that, the exact same loadouts. This is the bolters, top turret, and no multi-meltas. So we're going to be firing the turrets now and see what we can get.
So for the first Lancer, we're hitting on It's heavy 2, but it's hitting on 2s because it has a turret weapon ability.
The optics, yeah, the
Aquilon optics.
Aquilon optics, yeah, there you go.
So we're hitting on 2s, but 3s because of the smoke.
Smoke. Well, we have 1 miss.
And it's strength 10.
Yep.
So wound on 3s. It does wound.
AP.
AP 4 in Devastator Doctrine, I believe.
Well, I'm gonna fail that save. D3 plus 3 damage. It'll be 4. That's the first one done. Now the second one.
Yeah, the second Lancer hitting on 2s.
Same gun.
2 hits.
It should be 3s because of smoke.
Oh yes, you're absolutely correct.
So 1 does miss.
And these are wounding on 3s because strength 10.
Ooh, very good.
Wound.
And I do get a save. Maybe. That's a 1. Nope. D3 plus 3 damage.
D3 plus 3.
5. All right, so we've taken 9 damage on our Spartan. Now we're on to the big guy. We have to figure out all his guns and where they're going because he's got quite a bit.
Tell you where they're going.
Oh.
The macro accelerator is going to be going into the Typhon over that way.
Smart.
And everything else, the two plasma executioners and the twin bolt guns will be going into the smoke screened.
We'll do the turret last then.
So for the Astraeus' plasma sponsons, I'll roll them together if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
So these will be supercharged, and they're D6 shots each.
Boop, 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 boop.
That's the 2.
Would you like to reroll one of those randomly for like, or is it okay with the 2 shots?
You know what? I will command point reroll because
Okay.
I have the CPU to spare.
All right, 4 shots now, and these are hitting on 4s.
These are strength 8. Oh, sorry, yeah, they're hitting on 4s because of the smoke.
Ooh, they all hit.
Good spread. And I'll be wounded on 4s as well.
One of them. AP 5 because of Devastator, so no save at all. Is that 2 or 3 damage on them?
3 supercharged.
3 per. And the heavy bolter did get 1 through, so that's 5 damage in total. All the other small ones fired didn't do nada. We have 6 wounds left on him after that. And we have to resolve the giant turrets firing at our Spartan. And we have no defensive tech against it other than luck on our side, I hope. All right, let's see what he gets.
All right, macro accelerator cannon is 12 shots hitting on 3s.
Pretty good, only 10, casual 10 hits.
And these will be wounding,
Strength.
they're strength 8.
All right, so
they'll be wounding on
4s. Yeah, because I'm only T8 on a Spartan and never got the update.
And I'll use my Salamanders reroll for 1.
Excellent, okay. -3 because of the Devastator, so these are 5-ups. So I make 2, and they're 3 damage each?
Yep.
Oh, he's got 2 wounds left. Boom, boom, boom. Well, he's rattled, that's for sure. Okay, well, he got to shoot. He rocked my front line quite a bit there. 6 wounds left on the Spartan, and 2 wounds left on the Typhon, and together they're almost 1,000 points on my list. How many points is the Astraeus?
Upwards of 500.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, this guy's 450. So, like 420, he's around that. All right, well, that's going to end this first battle round. We can start contributing to hacking now, but my guy's not going to be on an objective in the command phase, but maybe on turn 3 he'll try and get there. So in my command phase, I don't think I want to use the CPs to make any... do I want to make anything fight a full bracket? Everything... This Spartan will. This Spartan will act as if he's in his full bracket. He's Titanic, I believe. So it might cost me 3 command points to do it. Or that's 2 command points, not 3, so I'll have just a couple left. As we move on to our Warp Smith augmenting the Typhon, giving it +1 to hit, we are gonna go right to movement now that I have nothing else to do in the command phase. And we're gonna see what kind of damage we can do to the big tank there. The Spartan's gonna try and make way a little bit so that this guy can shift over that way and then these guys can pop over. Spartan breaks through this way, putting pressure in that direction. Long gone are the glorious days of having to commit your tanks and their sponsons and their turrets and everything to certain directions before you know what the shooting phase is gonna look like. Now you have so many options. This guy could shoot backwards if you wanted to. That's nuts. Anyways, our Vindicators are gonna move over boop, 1 spot after the Annihilator goes over there. And then I gotta figure out what I wanna do with this. That guy is turtle slow right now. He's not doing so hot, but he's gonna try his best. Yeah, he's only moving 3, so that's where he's able to go. We will have that Rhino move up onto the objective. Have him zip over here with his 12-inch move. And then turn to face the enemy and hopefully he doesn't get shot. We're gonna move this guy. And that way we can get some fire support down this way. Our Tech Marine is gonna be kind of a dummy. He's gonna run an additional 5 inches. With that in mind, I'm just gonna run him to here. He could go up to the ruins there, but I want to heal the Typhon, and I want to make way for these predators to come up and around as well. I'm going to go with this Annihilator, driving his 12 to right there. Oh, my poor Sponson. But healing are there. This Predator isn't going to be able to do much, so we're just going to reposition him there. And then we're going to heal our Spartan. 2 wounds. Boop. Excellent. And then we're on to shooting. How exciting. Typhon's going to start this off, loading up a giant shell like he did last time, and going to keep firing it into that repulsor with 7 remaining wounds. Would you like to smoke screen this shot? Pop smoke on that because he's hitting on boars.
Yeah.
Loading up the shell would be 2d6 shots potentially. We have 7 so far. And the Let the Galaxy Burn has moved along, so I don't have to worry about that rule any longer. 5s to hit, we got a couple hits. These are 3s to wound. 2 wounding hits, AP 4.
I cannot save AP 4.
So you take 6 damage and you have 1 wound left. I was going to go to the Rhino's Combi Bolter. I'll show this one on camera. 2 shots from the Combi Bolter. And nothing. Definitely want to take that repulsor out. So our tank commander's next. I'm going to put, he's got what, 1 wound left. I'm going to put all the small arms fire into him. And then the las cannons, the Soul Terror, is going to go into the Razorback right up front. It's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble. Let's do the small arms fire, even though I know I said I wasn't going to show all of them. He's got 1 wound left. These are kind of clutch. Those are the the Combi Bolter. That's 4 hits on the Combi Bolter because of the 6s. I need 6. 2 more wounds on the Combi Bolter. 3 ups though. P nothing. Can he just gonna fall over to these? Would you like to re-roll that or take the death on the Combi Bolter?
What else is coming in at him?
The Heavy Bolter after that.
No, I'll save the CP.
Just save the CP. You let him fall over to the Combi Bolter fire.
Combi Bolter.
I like how it came down to the Combi Bolter at the end there. I'm going to do the hypothetical Heavy Bolter, if it would have mattered. These are hitting on 2s, because he's a tank commander. There's smoke, though, so it's 3. So there's 4 hits there, I believe. And 5s. Yeah, so the reroll might have kept... Do me a hypothetical reroll. I want to torture you.
Hypothetical reroll? Okay. Oh, he would have survived.
He would have lived.
How about
Interesting. That? Well, you got the reroll for these last cannons still. So they're going to fire next on 3s. The 6s don't matter here. On 3s. 4 saves at -3, I believe. Go ahead and roll them. I'll double check.
And this is into the
Razorback, yeah.
Razorback, okay. So 6s. Nope.
Ooh,
and then another 2.
Oh, yes. No, I only got 3 wounds.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to get 2. I got to double check the footage now. I forgot. I see what happened. I said 4 saves, but I only seen 3 dice. My brain, responded with a different thing than what my eyes seen there. So it's actually only 3 saves, and you failed 2 of them. You have 1 more.
So looking for a 6? Nope.
No, I assume no rerolls, really.
No rerolls, so
Again.
3d6.
3d6 damage plus 2, so it's 6 damage plus that much. So it's going to be, oh, go ahead, 16 damage.
Oh, well, we have to roll to explode for both of these.
That's true. Yeah, does the Combi Bolter explode him first? Because that would have happened first.
This is for the repulsor Combi Bolter death.
Nope, he just brought low, and then that Razorback. Oh yeah, he goes sky high. He explodes all over the wreck of the other vehicle there. Okay, so he does explode. Doesn't hurt that back there, and the character isn't in range. But the Astraeus, the Astraeus, does take D3 mortal wounds. Roll just 2. The void shields can't protect against that. It's like a separate wound profile. Kind of weird. We'll explain them in a minute because we're about to get there. So he's got 28 remaining wounds, and he's got 2 full voids of 3 each. So the way it works is each void shield gives him an invulnerable save while they're active, and they have to take wounds first unless they're mortal wounds. Then that goes directly to the tank. But any other regular attack goes right to the void shields. And each one has 3 wounds, and once they're both kaput, they burn out. They have void shield generated burnout, and they just treat it normally. He's got a regular save, no more invulns, that kind of thing. So we are going to move on to our Predator Annihilator back here, who is going to be firing into the Astraeus there. Wait, remove that Razorback. He exploded.
Yes.
Boom! So we got to deal with this big guy here. Still much of those void shields protection out, big guy. Regular last cannons first from it. Got 1 hit, 1 miss, and I guess that wounds. There you go. It goes -3, so you go to your invuln save, which is the void shield essentially.
So 5 up.
No.
Nope.
So it'll do D6 damage to one of the void shields. So one of the void shields gets popped, right?
Yes.
All right. So there's 1 more void shield left with 3 wounds.
Check this out.
Oh, they come off? Nice.
Yeah.
Smart. That works. And I have the Soul Terror last cannon spots and try and take out the other void shield. Well, one's going to hit, and it is going to... Wow, what's the toughness on the big guy?
8.
Oh, so it does wound. Right to the void shield.
5 up.
Oh, it's minimum 3 damage. The other one gets burnt out.
So
Boom.
burnt out for sure.
So that eats up the other shot. That does finish off the Predator. Took his shots to take out the void shields. And Next up, we got these big boys back here. Now, they both moved, so if they roll ones to hit, they'll take more wounds with their heavy laser destroyers. We'll start with the first one here. 3 shots, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna have 2 hits, and these are strength good enough to wound on 3s. So we have 1 wound. 1 does go through at AP4, so 6 up save on the Astraeus. No, 6 damage, 22 health left. 6 damage per shot, I should say. Moving on to the other laser destroyer of the heavy variety, we take a mortal wound. We have 10 wounds left and a couple of hits. And 2 wounds at 6 up saves.
2 6s. Not one.
Yeah, make 1, so 6 more damage. We got him down to 16 wounds left. Okay, well that means all I have left are these 2 tanks here, because our little predator in the back there doesn't have much line of sight till our Sparta or Typhon friend is out of here. This big guy in the middle is kind of hurting. The only thing, I'm gonna see what this guy can do next, because he's kind of lined up to take care of the, not predators, what are they called?
Gladiator.
Gladiators. He's kind of kitted up to deal with them back there, so I'll probably wait for the Spartan at the end here. Let's go with our Predator Annihilator, trying to put a little bit more damage on the Astraeus here. So we got the 2 sponsons. Well, both missed, that's ideal. And then 1 hit with the Soul Tear on the top, and it's strength 9. That's a wound. You should have a 5 up. I believe it's only AP3.
5 up. Nope.
Okay, well, not really making too many saves here, Kyfer. So we got D6 plus 2 damage. That's 6. The damage is consistent. What's the guy left? 6 wounds left?
How much damage did you do?
6 there.
Oh, this will be 10, because it had 16.
Nice, 16, perfect. 10 remaining health. I could put the shots from the Spartan into him, but I want to see that thing shoot again. So I want to put the Spartan over here. 8 shots on the las cannons. Half hit, okay. 3s to wound. Oh, you got 3 saves on this guy. 3 6-up saves from the las cannons.
Right, 3 6-ups. The dice have been bad so far, so the way probability works is I should spike all of these, right?
Oh, you got 1 of them.
Got 1.
2d6 damage on the Gladiator. Oh, 3. You know what? Command point rerolled that one. 5 damage. Oh, 7 remaining health on that. Oh, you got 1 too? Nice. It wouldn't be much of a tank battle if we didn't have tanks ramming each other, so I'm going to go ahead and declare a charge with my Spartan into the Astraeus there. We'll have Forge World, charge Forge World. Resin crunching against resin. We'll even grind up the paint together, right? We'll just like, you should have seen his face just drop. No, you don't want to do that last part?
So much so that I'll be using the Gravitic Pulse stratagem for 1 command point.
You're going to make my charge 2 more difficult?
Yes.
You think my tracks care about your gravity pulsing? No, you're going to use science. I'm using hate. It worked though. I could use my last CP there for the... But I am a word bearer tank, so I get to reroll hit rolls. I was kind of hoping to see it there a little bit. But you know what? He's got 6 wounds left. He's probably A-okay. I am ending my turn there. Again, no real victory points. We're just crunching through each other's heavy armor here. I'm doing pretty good though. I got a lot of hurt things, but I killed a lot of tanks too. I've killed 2 repulsors. I got this thing pretty low, and I killed a Razorback, I think. Is that it?
Yep.
I'll take it though. All right, in your command phase, we're going to try a hack here. What are we thinking?
So the engineer can hack because he's on an objective, and I add +2 to the roll, looking to pass on a 6. So looking for a 4 to see if we can hack the relay.
No.
And he does not.
As a 1. A little too far away to give anything +1 to hit, so we're going to go right to movement. Astraeus is going to shift going down the other direction of the road. A little hurt, not moving his full, but he's going to park his keister right there. Hello. He's got his turret looking down this way.
So at the end of my movement phase, I'll be spending 1 command point to use Relentless Determination on the Astraeus to keep its shooting efficiency nominal.
Yeah, then the rest of the moves to show off. Our tank commander moved up towards the Master of the Forge to both protect him and benefit from him later. And our 2 gladiators repositioned the tango with the Spartan further, the Annihilator behind it, and avoid getting shot at by these heavy laser destroyers, which are like really kind of carrying. Yeah,
they're the scariest ones, I think.
I looked at their profile and I'm like, oh, it's actually pretty kind of scary. I didn't expect them to do too much. I actually thought my Annihilators were going to do a lot more than what they're doing. But the Vindicators, man, they're picking it up. We're going to go right to shooting. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Wounded Gladiator. Ooh. It's not bracketed.
He's just hurt
so
though.
It's hitting on 2s.
Right into my Spartan. He's hitting on 2s because he's got the fancy optics. Couple hits.
Yep. 2 hits. They're strength 10.
Ooh, 3's to wound then.
Or maybe not strength 10. I'll double check.
Oh, 6 and a 5 will do it. Oh, yes, and the Marines can stay in the Devastator. So it's always going to be the extra AP. And AP 4, you said, eh?
Yep.
On both of these. So I got a 6 up and then a nothing. D3 plus 3 damage. So I'll do the 6 up. What's that? I want to see what the damage looks like before I do the next roll. But I might just auto pass the next one. Oh, he's dead. All right. That's good enough. 6. And then does he explode? No, but he is crippled by that shot. That's quite a shot. And that does remove our Spartan. We've lost our first big thing. No. Never going to fulfill my resin grinding against resin dreams this game. We're getting there, though. The Typhon could do it next. Just want to grind my resin up against your resin, man.
I don't want to grind resin with you. I'm sorry.
I'll do it. I'll win that. I'll win.
Oh, my God.
I'll do it. You can't stop me. You got to put them down before they get there. They got one goal in mind.
I hope I put enough varnish on my models.
Oh, it won't be enough varnish to get through what they have in mind. We got one more little friend in the back,
Yep.
I assume.
Yeah, so the other gladiator into the annihilator in behind, because he's also problematic with his... I don't like his soul shatter.
Yeah, they're strictly better las cannons. Okay. Well, different now.
Yeah, so hitting on 2s.
Oh, couple hits.
2 hits.
And 3s now. If it was 3s before, technically. AP enough to go right through. So the first, it's AP 4, right?
AP 4.
Ooh, so roll up the damage on the first one. Let's see, I want to see if I pass the second one here or not. Oh boy, he's got 5 wounds left. The second one could punk him. I'll spend my command point on hexagrammatic wards to make the second one 0. I have no more access to that, and I took 6 damage to the face on the first shot, which means I believe this boy's got 5 remaining wounds. Next up, our 2 whirlwinds are going to fire. Probably both going to fire into the Rhino over here, but we'll do one at a time.
I'll do them one at a time, so we'll see 2d3 shots.
All right, 5 shots, not bad, better than the previous turns. And they are going to be at a line of sight, so they're hitting on 4s. That's a couple of hits.
Wounding on 4s?
Yeah, 2 of them. Oh, 1 of them. We're going to reroll 1 for Salamanders. That makes sense. Ha! There we go. Okay. Ha-ha! I don't save it. I take 2.
2 damage.
I'm going to do the other one, too. He's got 4 remaining hull points or wounds. 5 shots again. Need a couple of these to sneak through.
Hitting
to
on
get
4s.
There's the 2 you need. And 4s to wound with the reroll, because Salamander. Ooh, the reroll.
Rolling the 1.
2 again! All right, these are -1 because of Devastator and a line of sight. Make 1, fail 1. 2 wounds left. It's enough from those 2. We have the 2 large tanks on screen here still to resolve. Next up, we're at the Astraeus. We're going to target the turret backwards into the tank commander, my tank commander, and everything else will be going into our Typhon. So before we were about to do the plasma, but the heavy bolter did strip 2 damage off, so one of these plasmas has to get through now. That's it instead of 2.
Yep.
Are we supercharging them?
We don't have to.
Oh, it's true. You got the heavy bolter damage in. Excellent. D6 shots per plasma sponson.
6.
4 shots. There's shots. And you're fighting, if you're shooting at full BS, so you're hitting on 3s. All right, lost a couple hits there, and they're not supercharged, so I don't have to worry about it. And these are strength 7?
Yes.
So 5s to wound. Well, there was a reason to supercharge it, wasn't there?
We have a Salamander's reroll for that, right? We don't.
I didn't realize there's a reason until the roll came up. Do you want to take the supercharge and take the mortal wounds, and I'll take the save? Up to you. You can retroactively do it. But you take a couple damage, though. You have 8 wounds left.
Well, we have the command tank, and he needs something to shoot at, so...
Oh, okay, so
I'll wear it.
Keep it as is. Yeah. We have the accelerators to fire over here, though. But my Chaos Land Raider can just eat these. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Look at all the bullets!
They're wounding on 5s, so we'll see.
That's pretty good save-ish.
Hitting on 3s.
Not bad. And then the next ones are 5s to wound, because it's strength 8.
Wounding on 5s.
I got that brand new, fresh... And you didn't use the... Or you did use the reroll.
I did use the reroll, yeah.
AP 3?
AP 3 and Devastator.
5 ups. Fail both, that's 6 damage, but we do have the Warlord trait of a Feel No Pain, which is a 5 up. I'll take 5 damage on him. I think I have 12 or 11 left. That'll be 11 remaining wounds, and the Astraeus is done.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the tank commander. Well, I'll close on my turn with activating him. So we're going to split fire because I'm in range of enough small arm stuff to go into the Typhon. And I want to put the heavy laser destroyer into the wounded annihilator.
Oh, okay. Let's do the heavy laser first because I figured that's where that was going, and let's then do the. We'll show the small arms fire because he's got a couple wounds left there. Do the optics increase your BS to a certain characteristic or give you a +1?
It gives me +1 to hit, I believe.
Okay, so you have a 2-up base, because you're a tank commander.
Yeah.
To a 1-up. Popping smoke won't help him. He's just gonna hope for the best.
Small arms going into the
Typhon
from the Repulsor Executioner. These are hitting on 2 heavy bolters.
These are heavy bees. Ooh, heavy hitting on that, and then wounding on 5s.
Yep.
And you haven't used a reroll yet.
I haven't.
Would you like to reroll any of these?
I prefer to save it for my special big gun.
These are AP2 because Devastator.
Yes, correct.
Pass 1, fail 1. That means he's dead, eh?
It's 2 damage.
Is there any more small arms fire here?
Yeah, heavy onslaught Gatling cannons, a lot of shots. Another 12.
I'll save the CP and do a hypothetical. Oh, I would have passed. But the onslaught could have killed him afterwards. All right, does he explode? No, but he's brought low. All right, all the small arms fire hit enough spots to shake the crew and get them to bail out at least. Giant hunk of resin, gone. You're leaving me with little options to rub my resin up against yours. There. I got just a few pieces left. Force the heavy laser into this predator to see if you can clear him out. Couple shots.
Last shot of the game. 2 shots, hitting on 2s.
Ooh, good start. So the smoke wouldn't have mattered. And then these are 3s to wound with no save.
Yep, and I will use the reroll I saved.
The reroll. Oh, okay, he's dead minimum. You know what? Let's see if he explodes for dramatic effect. He does not. He is also, rendered immobile. Weapon systems no longer work. Whatever it might be, he can no longer participate. That'll be the final shot of the turn. We're going to go on to my turn 3 as we're kind of cruising through the game. Well, I guess my Warpsmith will give the only thing it can +1 to hit, and that'll be that Predator Annihilator. There's nothing to scoff at. That's still quite a bit of las cannons to help out with. No hacking to be done. That's going to bring her right to moving. I'm probably going to keep you where you are so you don't have to take more wounds. You're going to shift to move this way to fire down over here and kind of just try and hold this position. And then we're going to move forward our Predator here and the Warpsmith. And then keep putting pressure on the objective. And that's technically my objective over there, the little sticky objective. I got to get a little homie and put him on there. This goes to show that there's still troops on the battlefield. They're just not taking active fighting roles. They're more holding ground here. So let's do just that. Zoop, whoop, boop, boop, boop. Run him just to get onto the objective and hang out behind the Predator. Keep you there, and then you're gonna something like that. And after everything else is moved, I'm gonna move my Land Raider back over this way, just so he can be near the tech marine and get healed, or the Warpsmith, which I'll do right now. I'll go from 11 to 12 health. Might matter, I always had that 5 up to shrug damage. And that should be about it. We're gonna go right to shooting. Note, this Rhino didn't really do much. It's just it only moves 3. We'll start with this heavy laser destroyer right into the Gladiator back there. Would you like to do anything about it?
The rear Gladiator?
No, the front one.
Oh, okay.
We'll go for the front boy, I think. Couple hits, take him out. Want to pop smoke or anything?
How many shots do you have?
3 per. You're gonna agree to that smoke? All right, you'll go down to 3 command points, and I hit you on 4s. And I take a mortal wound. I think I want to use a command point here to try and hit, though. Actually, I'll reroll the 1, I might as well. That was a miss, that was a 2. Might as well not take the mortal wound. Never mind. I'll use a command point for a reroll and get nothing. And I do wound you, so it's just 6 damage. 1 remaining hull point. Tis a shame. Come back to you because you got options on who can fire. You can either fire down at the commander or at the Astreus. So I'm gonna fire at this thing because it can only fire at the Astreus. The Sponsons, 1 hits, and then I'll do the Soul Terrors. They both hit because he has +1 to hit. And then the Sponson wounds, and the Soul Terrors both wound. You have 2 6-up saves that are minimum 4 damage plus 2d6, and then 1d6. So whichever one you want to do.
They're all 6-ups, right?
They're all 6-ups, yeah.
So we'll do the 2 together first.
The 2 together. So your armor protects against 1 of them, and then would you like to reroll?
And they're d6 damage per.
This one's d6 plus 2. Soul Terrors.
Yeah, I'll use the reroll on this one.
Looking for not that. So use the reroll and then do me a 6-up save on that one there.
Oh, I would very much like to.
Yeah, not quite. Oh, actually, you make it out of 5. Sorry, these are AP3. So you rolled a 3 and a 2 and all that. So you actually passed that one. So only 1 goes through, but it's 8 damage because it's the Soul Terror that went through. That leaves our big boy at 2 remaining wounds. So the only thing that has any merit worth rolling would be the Destructor back here and his 2 las cannons. Fire the 2 las cannons. 1 hits, and it does wound, and you have a 5-up. Just 1. Just the 1.
Looking for a 5.
Oh! Alright, I gotta do the Predator autocannon. 2d3 shots, it'll be 5. It'd be hard to get through that armor, though. They all hit, and no wound. Alright, you're T8 at least.
Yep.
You survived it. It's only strength 7. So, the Chaos Land Raider is just gonna put everything to the Astreus. leaving this guy to fire at whatever his heart desires. 4 Soul Terrors. We have 3 hits because he's a tank commander, and 2 5-up saves.
For 5s.
Ooh, no reroll.
No
That'll
reroll.
kill it at least.
Yeah.
It's minimum 3 damage. Does he blow? Does it go sky high? No, not quite. Also just going to abandon the battlefield, unable to continue the fight. Bye-bye, big guy. And again, I cannot grind resin on resin. All right, and then we have our heavy laser destroyer firing at the only real target it has down the table, the tank commander. 3s. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, they all hit. 3s.
Jeez.
Come on. That's 18 damage.
And AP?
Oh wait, you're +2 toughness, aren't you? T10?
I am T10.
Ooh, I think it only wounds you twice. The +2 toughness does matter, being toughness 10, only 2 of those actually wound, but they're AP 4. So no save, but you still have 6 wounds left because each one is 6 damage. I say 6 wounds left, I mean 4, sadly, sorry. Okay, well that is it for the turn. We're in a position to start hacking, and I'm trying to drive closer to get to that, the structure to fire at, and we tried to do some damage. We did do damage, definitely did do damage, but I'm still looking down the barrels, being looked at down the barrels by 3 heavy laser destroyers as well, with fancy optics. So we'll see if they can burn through me just back. And that's it, on to turn 3 for the Salamanders.
At the start of my turn, my Master of the Forge has repaired him up 3 wounds from 4 to 7.
Yep.
And while we're here, we will do a hacking roll at the start of my turn, so looking for a 4.
No hacking. The field is mine. All the terminals are mine. And I will bring your shields down.
Sorry, and the Master of the Forge will awaken the mission spirit of the tank commander so he can hit on 2s again.
Yeah, exactly. Back to hitting on 2s, because he's kind of bracketed.
Yeah.
Then we have right to movement effect. The healing would be at the end of the movement phase, but I think it should be at the end of the movement phase.
It should be, but
Yeah, he can still, yeah. As long as they're not going to move much at all.
No, they'll stay together. So.
And then these guys can move about as well. Poor Gladius is kind of broke, so it only hovers a little bit over. And then, just enough for the other one to hover forward and just put a lot of pressure on the Vindicator, firing right back at him. We do shimmy forward the Repulsor a wee bit, the Repulsor tank commander. What about the Whirlwinds? Are they going to hide back there and keep volleying? Or are they going to get out and try and get some direct fire? It's going to reposition for possible later turns. And we're on to the most exciting phase. Heavy laser turrets. Let's go. And I realized I've been calling these like heavy laser destroyers, like heavy laser, or like laser volley gun. It's got a different name, but it's different in like every edition of the game it plays in. The Heresy, it's called something different.
Sorry, at the end of the movement phase, we'll be spending Relentless Determination. So we're back down to 2 command points.
Hitting on 2s again with that turret, yeah.
Yeah, just to maintain his ability to shoot well with the assets I have remaining.
Exactly, yeah.
We'll start with this guy, though, shooting at the wounded Vindicator.
Do I want to pops? I'm gonna pop smoke on it. I'm pretty sure he's got smoke screen. He does have smoke screen, so we'll pop smoke on there to try and make these hit on 3s instead.
Yep.
We'll see if it matters.
Looking for 3s. Or 4.
Aha! My archaic smoke works.
It does.
Screw your fancy sci-fi optics. I've got smoke. Maybe it's sci-fi smoke.
Yeah.
It could be.
It's like a
Fancy science smoke.
EMP targeting.
You never
scattering
know. That could be exactly
type
it here.
smoke.
All right, so you're gonna reroll it, or just keep the one hit?
I can't. I said the reroll, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to wound on 3s.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to burn AP4 with
AP4
Devastator.
with
So it burns right through. So D3 plus 3 damage.
Correct.
So we're looking at 5. Not bad. He's got 4 remaining health, which, that might one hit could have saved his life there. And it might mean he needs more firepower, which I assume the second one's going to go for him.
It may. I was thinking of putting the second one into the other guy because he can draw a line of sight through the ruins.
Yeah, so the first guy firing was there, over to here. The
However,
second one...
We'll see. I'm gonna try and pot shot him with the...
that's what they're here for, right? Yeah. A couple of cheeky shots to get some damage in. One in the right there will fire directly down over to here because we moved out of his way, so that one has direct fire. So 2d3 shots at 3s and extra AP. Okay, 3 shots, not bad. 3s to hit because it's direct fire. 1 hit, nice.
1 hit. Dice are pretty cold for Salamanders today.
Oh, they ice cold today for the Salamanders. That's a wound.
Okay.
I will fail my save and take 2 damage. More importantly, still alive. We do have one more Whirlwind who's going to fire indirectly into him. 2d3 shots.
Let's see if we can chip him down.
Okay, 3 shots again.
Whoops.
Should be 4s to hit.
On 4s because of indirect.
Ah, they all missed.
luck.
Just pepper the area around them. Okay. And then we have 2 rather large tanks and their turrets to go, with lots of targets.
Regrettably, I would like him to shoot at something else, but he'll have to commit to this guy.
Well, he has a small arms fire too if you want to gamble it, if you have range.
That's Storm Bolters, 24, we can check.
Oh. Scrap that, nothing's in range. So we got 2 shots hitting on 3s because I got sci-fi smoke protecting me. Oh, didn't really matter. 1 hit. Yeah, enough to kill it though. 3 to wound with the Salamander reroll.
With the Salamander reroll.
Oh, you got it. Should be no AP4, right?
It'll be AP4.
So 2 wounds left, he's dead. Does he explode for dramatic effect? He does. Probably too far away to hurt him. Nothing's within 6 of it. So bye-bye, Vindicator. They're smiling. We have just the big guy here. Where do you want to put the shots?
I think we're putting it all into the Predator Annihilator. I just feel like my dice are a bit too cold to split fire.
Ah, fair. Okay, so we'll do the small arms fire, get out of the way, and then do the big shots. Before we roll off the big gun, the heavy bolter and the heavy onslaught did do quite a bit of damage. We got 7 damage on the Predator, and that's where the freaking the strengths of the additions show. 1 damage, consistent AP is usually where you want to go with your weapons. Now, granted, the wounds on vehicles kind of represent lots of factors. The crew being shaken, do they bail out, do they buckle, do they run away, is the treads too damaged to keep moving. So even the small arms fire could technically shake the crew to the point where they don't want to keep playing the game anymore. Is a good way to keep track of that there if you wanted. Anyways, here's the big shots, the ones that actually tear the tank apart.
Heavy Laser Destroyer.
We got 1 hit.
1 hit.
And 3.
That's all we need though.
Reroll, don't need it, no save at all, and I have 4 wounds left, so he's dead, he's destroyed.
D3 plus 3.
Just need that 1 shot to get through. Oh, and he explodes! D3 damage to the engineer, the warpsmith, and D3 damage over there, which I ignore on a 5. Nope, I take it. So 11 wounds left, and he takes I think he took a couple. I'll just reroll it. I can't remember. He takes 3 instead. He's a word bearer and he ignores them on 5s. He takes 2. Look at that. That might have been the original number. That leaves the Warpsmith at 3 and our Land Raider at 11. All right. Well, that's it for the firing, though. Not bad. We're on to the 4th battle round of this game. Well, in my command phase, I'm definitely gonna pump up the Land Raider's bonus hit just to counteract smoke screen, I suppose. And then we are going to hack because we're near the console in the middle there. Gonna roll that with a plus. I am on 3 objectives.
Yeah.
Oh, because of 3 objectives, you auto pass, yeah. So that means the shields on the core structure are down this turn, but I don't know if I'm gonna have too many shots into it. I might just do a cheeky one of here just to try and get some damage on them, but I have to deal with your gladiators and your command tank still. We're gonna move our Warpsmith up here to stay on the objective, and then we're going to move our Land Raider up. I don't need to protect anything or make anything operate a full bracket. I'm going to wait on the Land Raider. We're going to drive over the sandbags here first with our Vindicator, and that way I can start pushing him up as well. We'll go the full 10. I want to fire at this gladiator, yet make him explode and deal the 1 remaining wound on that gladiator, thus dealing with my problem of gladiators. We're then going to go to this Predator who's going to drive up to this point to shoot down at your tank commander. And unfortunate, I have to move my, I don't want to move him, but my stupid Warpsmith is exposed. Screw it, I'd rather the shots. I'm just going to keep him over here and not move my Land Raider up, even though it's going to be detrimental to the Warpsmith. I need the Warpsmith to stay on the objective, but if I move the Land Raider up, I block his line of sight, so I lose out on the autocannon and the last cannon shots, just in case I need them against that repulsor. So we'll just go ahead and just over there, move over, just to get some shots, and then I'm going to keep the Rhino back there, because he's not doing much at 2 wounds left, and I'm going to start shooting. We're going to start with this guy, firing into your gladiator. Would you like to pop smoke?
I think I need to save my smoke for my Warlord.
It's true. This guy would effectively ignore the smoke, though, because he hits on 1s. I don't know if that matters or changes up your plan or not.
Well, no, that's a valid point. If he's going to hit on 2s regardless, then because you're shooting the full bracket.
Full bracket, and I'm supercharging it, so I'll take more wounds if I roll 1s. Hitting on 4s. Ooh, 2 hits. How many wounds do they have? 14?
I think 12.
12 wounds. I won't reroll that hit roll. I'm just going to hopefully wound with both of these. I'm going to command point this. I do wound with both of them. They're strength 10. AP 4 each. 6 damage each.
I cannot save, and I think that's his full wounds.
It does take him out. If this explosion works, that would be a 2-for-1, if I get so lucky.
Seems like you are lucky.
Today is the day of luck for the word bears.
I would think about using Armor of Contempt stratagem to...
You could.
But I feel like the luck is just on your side today.
Do you want to do a hypothetical one? To torture yourself?
No, if I'm going to torture myself, I'd rather spend the CP.
Okay, fair. Okay.
Which I might do. Which I will do.
You will do? All right, so we're going to use Armor of Contempt. That'll give him a 5. So when the second he takes a mortal wound, in that phase, you spend a CP. On a 5-up, you ignore that mortal wound, and then every other mortal wound on a 5-up for that phase.
Yeah, so I can see.
All right, so the explosion is definitely going to destroy that guy, but do you make the save?
If I want to use a stratagem after I see the result. Yeah, I'm not going to use a stratagem.
Clutch, he lives.
It's both.
Boom. Oh, wait, I thought you were using the strat, or no?
No.
That was a hypothetical?
No, that was the
D.
damage.
Oh, yeah, you have to actually do the damage first. He would suffer D3 if he suffered 1.
Then I'd consider it.
Of course, of course. What am I thinking? I thought it was only 1 mortal wound. No, I thought that was so clutch that you made the 5-up. It's D3 damage, though. Understood. So he does die as well. Oh, no.
Both of them.
That's the shot. The shot from... I don't even know where that shot came from, right there. This game is ridiculous. All right, let's go with that guy, our tank commander. You know what, let's do this guy hasn't got much action. The destructor back here is gonna fire into your tank commander. So even do the predator autocannons first. Look at that, 2 shots. Boom, boom. Hitting on those and wounding on 5s. Boom, boom, boom. 1 at -1. So it should be a 3-up because you're a salamander. Can you ignore the -1? Yeah. Doesn't come up often in this game, but it didn't matter there, I suppose, either. And 2 las cannons. This is what I gave up taking ground for to try and do damage to. I don't wound there with the las cannons either. Okay, so that destructor did nothing. I should have moved up with the land raider, but now I know in hindsight. So let's go ahead and do his soul-tearing las cannons on 2s and 3s. And then you have 3 6-up saves.
6-up saves.
You opt to put more guns, less armor on your vehicles. I have more armor, less guns, but that is still going to be 6 damage minimum plus, yeah, the extra 11 on top of it. So 17 damage. Actually, would have one-tapped him. Does he explode? Because it could hurt your... Nope. But he is brought low. So you have 2 support, or I guess you have 2 whirlwinds left, and Tech Marine. And that is it for my turn. Not bad. Not bad at all, Kyfer. I got a hack again. And then
vehicles are strong, Luka.
My vehicles are strong. My vehicles, these guys are strong. These guys are nuts. All right, so we're going to go for some Hail Marys here. We're going to try and hack the console
at this stage, it's like, if I can get the shield down, I can score a little bit of points, maybe.
A little bit of points here and there, yeah. Because the points do matter.
Yeah. We go to...
oh my gosh, that's 3 fails.
The coldest.
They're 4. You just need a 4 up on any one of those, because if you bring the shields down, these guys are cheeky, and then they can shoot at it. That's the kind of nice thing about them.
In the games I've played previously, in this mission even,
these would be quite cool. I just need a 4 up, that's it.
I was shooting at the core all game. Right? All right, so the game plan here is, because the shields weren't brought down, the exposed Tech Marine is probably the best the point of scoring.
Yeah, so you still get 15 points for taking him out.
Yeah, so the plan is we're going to give +1 to hit to this guy nearby.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go forward.
And
they don't have indirect firing penalties.
just shoot right into him.
Yeah, and then my Tech Marine is going to try to run away.
So I can't do the same thing to you.
So, I mean, you'll shoot my core, whatever. But
yeah.
I won't be giving my Tech Marine.
We'll show you where this all ends up then. Because the Tech Marine in the end of this game will help the bonuses and disadvantages going on to the second game after this. Once our heavy armor recuperates, gets back to home base repairs, and gets ready for the next conflict. The Tech Marine runs back that way, and then the 2 whirlwinds face down towards my Warpsmith. Okay, well, we're right to shoot at my Warpsmith, I guess. All right, let's see if that Warpsmith is destined to die, or if he's made his dark packs.
So first whirlwind, 2d3 shots.
2d3, boop. This is the one that's not boosted. I don't know if it matters too much. I think that was the one that's boosted there. So we have 3 shots on 3s because it's direct. Got a hit.
A hit.
Sorry, I was a little far away there. We got a hit, and this wound's on a 2-3.
3.
That is a 6. Okay. And do I save? Absolutely, I do.
The one with 2 up ballistic skill, or sorry, the +1 to hit because of the Master of the Forge. This one hoping for a good quantity.
Yeah, we're hoping for better than not. These guys have been consistently not ideal at this game. We got 2s to hit though.
Or hitting on 2s.
Okay, there we got some hits. 3s to wound. And 2 of them.
Oh, Salamanders reroll 1.
And of course, that makes sense. So it's 3 of them. So I fail 1, and I make the other one. So I do take. He's got 1 wound left.
But Mark of Zinch, right? right?
Oh, I do. You remember that, and I forgot. Oh my gosh!
I just remembered.
I had the points to give him Marcus each, and I just said, hey, you know what? He might take a damage. He might ignore it. So he does ignore it. Well. I guess that is going to be it for turn 4 on the Salamander side. You always do have turn 5. Did you want to risk keeping your guy on the objective to hack on turn 5 to get some points? To get the 4 up, and then one more shoot?
I just feel like I won't have any assets, to be honest.
You might.
Right?
It's true. Turn 5, I'm going to go ahead and definitely attempt to hack again, which should be automatic because I'm on 3 objectives, so no matter what, I get +6 to the roll. I got a 9. So the shields are down. I still need to get direct fire on them, so we're just going to move this to there. It's getting range of fire at the core. We're going to drive our Predator, Destructor, this way. There, and again, because this is all breachable, lighter terrain, tanks can drive right through it. And then our Land Raider is going to move up just to there. And that's where we'll end our movement phase. The Warpsmith will heal the vehicle, 1. Really known for his mechanical capabilities. He's more known for his ominous presence, I guess. And obviously how good he is at hacking consoles and bringing down shields, because he hasn't missed, unlike somebody. The only things I can shoot at the core would be these 2 vehicles here. Core, because this guy's got that building in the way. So I'm going to put the Land Raider into the Whirlwind in the middle. Well, between the Tech Marine, the one further away from me, I suppose. Popping smoke here, so I'm hitting on 3s. Actually, I guess there's no point in popping smoke because I get +1 hit from the Tech Marine. It is a command tank, yeah. So I'm just going to hit on 2s. Bam! Wound 3 times, and you should have 6 up saves.
6 ups.
6 up saves. Ooh, would you like to reroll any of those? Because you have the CPU.
I do have the CPU.
Roll 1
there is no better item to roll for.
Yeah, so we got, is that 6 damage plus another 8. So that's 14 damage. He probably does he explode,
Does
actually?
He explode?
Nope, he is brought low.
Sorry, how's this one?
That one there.
Okay.
There is 1 Whirlwind left. Let's go ahead with our Predator Destructor firing down here at the core.
Nice.
Some las cannons. Okay, couple of hits, which means they wound, because it's just...
Yeah, that's the rule.
That's the rule. It does have a 6 up save after this, though, because it's got a 3 up base.
Are you AP3?
Only 3 on these.
Okay,
Yeah.
how many?
2.
2, 3, or 6 ups? No.
Oh, close though. I get added to 6. I'm like, oh damn, my thing didn't work. I don't know why I convinced myself. So it'll be 4 damage plus 9. So that's 13 damage on the core, which is 13 victory points. And for the autocannons, 2d3 shots. Ooh, look at that. 5 shots. Good job, buddy. 3s to hit. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, they all wound. 4 up saves. 5 of them. Sorry, 5 4-ups.
5 4-ups.
That's what I meant. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, the armor on the core hold. No damage. And that's it for him. So we're going to go right to our Vindicator Destroyer. And again, the victory points are pretty important for the next game. So we're going to supercharge all the shots into the core. I do take mortal wounds on 1s. I wound twice. And that should just be 12 damage because it's -4. Afterwards, that means we have dealt 25 damage to the core out of the total 45 we could do. That's it for me on the game. That's my turn 5 finished. We're gonna go into turn 5 for the Salamanders. Do you think you wanted to try and pop the core and do some damage to it?
I can't. That's the problem.
Oh, well, what if he had a 6 and... Oh, because he ran off it. That's right, because he ran off it, of course. All right, so we can roll up your turn quickly. The best bet is the Whirlwind direct firing.
Yeah, it's damage mitigation this turn, right? So if he moves within line of sight to shoot directly, that's basically what it would be.
That's the whole turn here,
Maybe
effectively.
I can debilitate you a little bit and you'll be...
In the next game, almost, yeah, because these things can be heard for the next game. Okay. Well, let's see what we get. 2d3 shots?
2d3.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there's that classic 3. Very familiar 3 on the
Very
Scorpion.
cold, man. Okay. And for 3s?
Couple hits and 5s to wound. Okay, not a...
Salamander reroll 1.
Hey, that's wound.
1.
All right, well, that's a -2 because of the Devastator. That's a 6. Good. We're good. That's it. That'll be game. Now we're going to jump into a post game where we have some bookkeeping, right? We have to see, because we want it to be a linked game, and not everything was destroyed. You want to see what the forces can salvage as this conflict has come to an end. We've pushed, we've taken ground. The Salamanders are going to retreat, but it's like a running retreat, and they salvage what they can. And we're going to go ahead and go through all of that for you. And again, all these rules are available, like Kyfer said, in the link in the description down below. In fact, there will be a video paired with it going to greater details about the whole concept of these missions and everything. And if you want to play with all tanks and what you can do to make it work in 9th edition 40K. I will say the dice went heavily in my favor and it was still pretty damn close. I only had 3 of my vehicles left at the end. You destroyed some of my heavier stuff early on, and it was these guys that kind of ended up doing a lot of the heavy lifting because they just refused to miss. Even though you're making them hit on 4s and all that, these Vindicators were my MVP.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
But the Firekeepers will be back in round 2 with a vengeance.
Exactly. There's always round 2. So we're going to take a look at my forces first and all of the vehicles that were destroyed. The Warpsmith is there to represent his helping and fixing the vehicles because he survived the battle, so he's able to go back and assist in the repairs. And we have 2 Annihilators, a Spartan, a Typhon, and a Vindicator all destroyed. So we're going to try and repair them. So we're going to roll a d6. And on a 3-up, the repairs go smoothly, no complications. They just fix what they need to, put a new part in, whatever, it's good to go, roll it off into the next battle. However, on a 1 or a 2, there were complications in the repairs and something just can't quite get fixed before the next game properly, and it'll kind of hinder the vehicle, be it like maybe the tracks aren't as good or the tracks are a little faulty, operational, slower movement, weapon systems not as on, the stabilizers don't work or whatever. You're right, the -1 to hit. A lot of things can go wrong here. Start with my 2 Predators here. I'm going to start with this one here on a 3-up. Ooh, we have some faulty, we have something going wrong here. And I will note the Warpsmith can help with 1 of the repairs, and that's on the detriments table. So normally roll 2d6 down and look at the table. And once per, I can choose for him to roll 3d6, because the higher the roll, the less the effect is. But for my Annihilator, I think I'm just going to roll the 2d6 and hope for the best. So I got a 10 on the table. So 10 on the chart's not the worst. The crew is going to suffer from some battlefield trauma. And the first round of combat, they're going to be a little shaken in the next game, and they're going to suffer essentially the opposite of the commander upgrades. So their BS will be lower. The leadership will be lower on the crew, and if that comes up for the game, and the
First round.
and then that's it for the first round. As the battle progresses, they kind of shake it off and they get used to it again. I mean, they're Astartes, so they'll be okay. But it's like general representation of trauma because you might be playing with regular humans or something, not just Astartes. So that means our Predators are going to be a little shaken at the start of the next game. I'm going to roll for this one. Awesome. All right, so the repairs didn't go quite that good. So let's see what we get on the table. 11. So 11 is actually good as new. 12, however, is like battle veterancy, battle scars, where you, instead of taking a negative in the first round, you're actually incredibly excited to get in the next one, and you're cracking hits, and you're better leadership, so you get +1 to hit in the first round of combat. I didn't quite get that though, so even rolling the 1, we're good to go. We're not too worried about it. Only the up to the 10 result is typically negative. Now we're gonna roll for our Spartan. Can I get another? Okay, repaired just fine. Typhon. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use my Warpsmith to roll 3d6 on this one and hopefully not roll anything too low. All right, good luck, Typhon. You're kind of old. What did we get, an 11? Oh, that's the same. Okay, so as good as new. Got the 11, excellent. Now, had he not made it through that game, it would have been a 2d6 roll, which would have been an 8. Stiff, the suspensors are stiff. That's going to reduce the attack. That would have reduced the attack characteristics of it. And these ones are actually kind of, the forgeable ones actually are pretty good in combat, especially word-bearer ones. So it would have affected them. Over here on this Vindicator, on a 1 or a 2. Okay, wow, okay, I can't make that stuff up, guys. I used the 3d6 on him, so I got to roll 2d6 on this guy, which is a 9. That is battle weathered. Ooh, okay, the repairs didn't go exactly that well. He's going to start the next game with D3 damage on him already. I might as well just roll it up now. 3 damage. All right. The repairs needed a little bit more time before they could be ready for the next battle, but he's good enough to the guns shoot, the treads move. You know what? Just not all the bolts are tightened, all the rivets aren't put back in place. Maybe that'll clear up all of my battle damage repairs. So my little company is good to go into the next battle. Pretty good, ready to root and toot and shoot, except for that guy is a little hurt and that guy's a little shook. But they'll be fine. We're gonna take a look at Kyfer's stuff and see what he gets. Because if I rolled like that, he's a little concerned for himself. It was hard to get all of Kyfer's stuff here on shot because a lot of it's dead. So we're gonna have to roll for all of this. But hey, the Tech Marine lived, so you can help repairs on one of these if it goes south. Where would you like to start?
Well, let's just go left to right and keep it simple.
Left to right. So looking for a 3-up for good, healthy repairs.
Gladiator.
Nope, he's good to go.
Whirlwind.
He's good.
DACA repulsor.
The DACA one. Oh, something bad with him. Do you want to use the Tech Marine or do you want to roll 3d6? Or 2d6?
I'll roll the 2d6 then.
Well, you don't care about the DACA one as much?
Well, I care more about the Warlord or the whatever were there, right?
The Astraeus, yeah. A 6 on the chart. One of his primary weapon systems are going to go to the next battle with a failure on them. So we have to randomize. We have to just randomize one of them.
Give me 20 minutes to find out how many weapons he has.
Oh, okay.
So on a 1 and 2, it'll be the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. 3 and 4, twin heavy bolter, and 5 and 6, the Hunter Slayer missile.
And it's the 3-4.
Twin heavy bolter.
So now we have to roll a d6 on what the failure of the system is. It could be straight up destroyed and irreparable. That's a 4.
A 4 is worsen strength by 1.
Oh, strength 4 gun now.
Strength 4, twin heavy bolters.
Well, that kind of matters in a tank game that's going from 5s to 6s to wound. Here's the big guy. 3 up. He's okay. He didn't take too much damage. Just fixed the paint a little bit here and there. He's good to go. Slap him on the butt.
Warlord?
We get the Warlord. Boop. That's a 4.
I saw the 1.
I seen the 1 too.
The 1, okay.
The Razorback. 3. And the last one?
The last gladiator.
5. Okay, nothing's too bad. Overall, just this guy's heavy bolters are weaker. And then we go to the next part of the post game here. We spend the victory points we accrued in the previous game to help with our vehicles in the next game. It is tough. What I want to upgrade, I'm going to go with my tank commander. So the way it works is you spend the victory points you accrue in the game and spend them on upgrades. They're all 35 base. And unfortunately for Kyfer, you only got 0 victory points. I did get 25 for damaging the core. And a further 15 for taking out the enemy tank commander. It's your own format too, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's not like I had the benefit of being able to list Taylor, Luka. I'm sorry.
I know. It's those stupid Vindicators, dude. They are what got me the 40 victory points. Now, there's 3 options as of right now. And again, this is like the first iteration of it. But I can go with the Blade of Plating, reduce the damage it takes by 1. You can, if you play a long series of games, you can find replacement parts and repair a single detriment he may have gotten in like a game 5 games ago. Right? Because the idea of the format is to kind of just keep playing games, kind of like a Mordheim, Necromunda,
Exactly.
something to upgrade and follow the damage on your little tank company as it drives around the galaxy, destroying everything in front of it. The last one is a weapon system tune-up, so you can select one of its primary weapons, following the same rules on the damage chart, and increase the number of shots, strength, AP, or damage by 1. A lot of things to consider there. I can make one of the sponsons 3 shots, or D6 plus 3 damage, or AP 4. Or I can make the heavy bolters extra damage. 3 damage a shot for heavy bolter can be pretty serious. So I don't really know. I'm gonna make. Wow, that is a tough call. It'd be a little it'd be easier to remember too, but I think I want to go a Blade of Plating and try and stack it with the Warlord trait on him. So you have a 5 up to ignore damage because of his Unholy Tenacity. I can't remember the actual Warlord trait. It's the Chaos one. And we'll ablate the plating. That's how that works, right? We're going to put another layer of Ceramite on there. And then reduce all damage you take by 1 to a minimum of 1 naturally. And in the MiniWarGaming Vault, paired with this battle report you just watched, you better believe Luka and Kyfer continue the escapades of TANKHAMMER, including all of the repairs and damages from the game you just watched in another matchup. And this match will be available to our YouTube and Vault members. And if you aren't one, do not fret, for all you need to do is click on the link down below in the description and you can sign up for a 7-day free trial to check it out and the rest of our content in that 7-day period of time. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to check out the battle report linked here if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time. Enjoy the postgame. And that is it for this first battle report there, folks, between Kyfer and myself. We are going to be playing another one, paired with this one. If you haven't already checked it out, well, then it's kind of weird. You spoiled it for yourself, I guess. But that works. You can watch these videos in any order you want, I guess. I'm not your boss. But the next game, we will be playing another match where we're going to be following through with our upgrades and the damage we've taken. Now, where did the idea of this format come from?
I just really was kind of annoyed with how vehicles don't get played. No one wants to take vehicles, right? Barring something like dreadnoughts that are -1 and just core and just overall better suited, right? It's an infantry game, 9th edition, so was kind of sad, and it saddened me no one plays vehicles. So I'm like, let's make a format where everyone can throw their vehicles on the table and have them shine.
Yeah, I get that. It's actually really nice and easy to play too, because it's kind of simple. Like, your unit is just one model. It's like anywhere between like 175 to, in this case, like 175 to 300 and like 400 points. I know my Spartan was 420. I did have an 80-point Rhino technically, but I moved him a couple times and I was done with him. So yeah, I do like the format, the vehicles fighting one another. And this is just the first iteration of these rules as well. Like, we were talking, we came up with a couple cool concepts for like ideas in the future. And how many people you got trying this one out?
We got about 8 people in my local play group who've been playing.
Okay, nice. Well, it does change up the monotony of 9th edition right now. You get to see the vehicles on the table. You get to see those heavy weapons shine against the targets they're kind of meant to target one another. Funny enough, I will say in the game, the second the repulsor's like small arms fire got in range, you got to really see like why vehicles kind of suck in a way. Because like,
true.
I got shot at by a heavy bolter, got half health on one of my predators. That, in 30 years of Warhammer, never happens. Never ever once kind of happened. Well, maybe back in the day, heavy bolters could have done it against certain armor facings. However, generally that's not what you'd see. The onslaught doing a couple damage. Before you even got to the heavy gun, I was pretty much already like 1 foot in the grave from one volley. That's where a lot of my gripes with the game come in.
100%, I'm with you.
The small arms fire have too much AP, too much of. Now, granted, this is all probably going to be fixed in the new edition. I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but this was a nice break from the usual stuff, and
kind of like a palate cleanser in a way, right?
Yeah, and I could definitely see where the idea comes from, or like at least the drive to do it. I can see where that came from. I've never really been one for vehicles. They were always a cool element of the game. I liked their rules in the older editions of the armor facing. It added another layer to the game, and I like layers to my games, I like complications. Now vehicles are just there's big monstrous creatures technically. They operate the same way, but with this format, it makes them feel a little bit more unique. And I'm kind of sad to see and realize that layer was taken away from the generic game of Warhammer 40k. Not completely, but that's my. I've been vocal about it ever since 8th came out, really. So this is not news from anyone. But this was nice, and I appreciate the palate cleanse. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for being a good sport with your ice cold dice.
Oh, dude. Well, we'll see next round. I've got a good feeling.
No, I gotta keep like just going on about how well I did this one, because I don't expect I'll do as well in the next one. I mean, I can't possibly do as well as I did in the next one.
Well, I feel like I can't do as worse.
So there we go. We got. Stay tuned for the next game, I guess, there, guys, and see what happens between these two forces as we clash again in the streets of this Imperial planet. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out Kyfer's content in the description down below in the link. And be sure to check out the next video if you haven't already and see how these tanks clash once again. Happy wargaming. Toodaloo.